Welcome back to Autism Live. We are in the middle of our Festival of Toys, getting ready to really wind this holiday season up, and I'm sitting here playing with Lux Blox. So, and we're being joined right now by Mike Acerra, and he and his wife have homegrown this company. It's absolutely amazing. I think every year that we have done the toy guide, they have had a winner in our toy guide because we love this toy so much. And I'm going to have Mike explain a little bit about their background, but I've got my desk is covered here, and I am just in holiday heaven because this amazing toy. Well, Mike, are you there? He is not. He's coming right back. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and explain. So do you see these? These are like this is one of the building blocks, right? And I don't know if you can see that it's got these connectors that I can snap these two things together. And from there, it's whatever you want to build, right? These things have movement. The different blocks, and they come in different shapes and sizes now, but I remember when there was just the block. And what I've made here, just in the last, like while we were in commercial, I put together a 4x4 sheet, and I did it in stripes so that you guys could see that there are colors. But can you see that this has got all kinds of movement, that I can make this into this, I can do this with it. While we're talking with Mike, I'm going to continue to add on to this because there was an entire year in my office where I had, I think it was a 12x12 sheet of this put together, and it sat on my desk. And anytime anyone would come into my office to have a meeting with me, it would be there on the desk. And I can tell you that every single person picked it up and did something different with it. Some people took it apart and put it together other ways. Other people had so much fun figuring out, oh, I can make it fold this way and that way, and I can turn this into this. And it gave me an insight into how their brain works. But so that's just adults, and sometimes it was kids, and sometimes it was kids on the spectrum. Everyone played with it. But I have seen kiddos over the years play with these that are on the spectrum, and it is something not to be believed. There's Mike. Mike, what on earth? First of all, welcome, Mike Acerra.
Do you notice something's missing from Mike?
I noticed that Mike is a little bit lighter in the hair department. But it's lovely. You certainly have the perfect head for it.
You know, I can wear my Lux bonnets. They look so nice.
I love it. So Mike, in your absence, I was showing them my little sheet that I was building here, but give us a little background about how I said that you and your wife home grew this wonderful company, and you're doing amazing things. Tell them a little bit about what this is and why you invented it, because it's fascinating.
Okay. Real quick story is we wanted to make a construction toy that imitated nature. And we spent years really looking at nature. One of our heroes was Frederick Froebel, who invented kindergarten back in the 1830s. And he was a progressive educator. He wanted to give kids the best tools because he thought that kids' brains weren't designed to just be told what to think, like the Scholastic era. But like him and Pestalozzi and Rousseau, they believed that children were these beautiful, amazing machines, and God gave us this great brain to make our own connections. So they wanted to give kids tools to make mental connections on their own and form their own circuits in their brain. So he was a geologist, and he knew about crystals. So he brought all his knowledge of science about how nature was put together into the tools he made for his early kindergartens. But again, this is the 1830s, and that was state-of-the-art for the 1830s. But because of his kindergartens, people like Buckminster Fuller, Frank Lloyd Wright, Le Corbusier, the whole Bauhaus movement in Germany, all of them claimed that it was those experiences in those kindergartens that made these people who they were. He basically blew children's minds at the age of 6. And so Heather and me were like, wow, just imagine if we put the technology we know about now and the understandings of nature now into a modern construction toy. And that's what we did. And so Lux uses the same motions and hinges that are like in our hand, revolute joints. So if you take your hand and go like this, and you make a pincer action, that's exactly what what these things do, these serous linkages do, which we call fidget flexors. If you see that, that's the same motion as like a ballerina's plie, like the hip joint and the knee joint and the ankle joint, right? So we're a jointed system. Crabs and insects are jointed systems, and molecules are jointed systems. And now it's something that children can play with, and they can make all different kinds of things. Like this is new.
I love that.
Our first Lux Muppet.
I love it.
Pretty good, right?
That's
he's
wonderful.
curious though. He's looking at he's wondering where your voice is coming from.
I love it.
Yeah. So. That's why. Does that answer your question?
It does. There's just so many things about Lux Blox. We could talk forever and never get through everything, but that gives you guys a little bit of background about why it's so cool. And of course, I've been listening, but I've been building because you can't help yourself is the thing. So here's what I want you guys to know. As I said, I think every year we've done the toy guide, they have had a winner. They had a new product this year that we couldn't leave off the toy guide. So you've got these amazing STEAM primers that we gave our STEM award to for school-aged kids. We think it's important, especially for our kids on the spectrum, to give STEAM toys and STEM toys that are for science, technology, engineering, and math. And these, man, do these qualify. In fact, you even have it in the title that it's a STEAM primer. And you have expanded your line so that you have more shapes of the basic building block to make it possible to make curves, which is so cool. And you've added gears and wheels. Talk a little bit about that, Mike.
We did. Well, we added our new wheel has on it a treads. These little treads and these little knobbies actually allow for a rubber band to go around to make a pulley. And they also mesh as gears too. So our wheels are both, they call them multi-wheels. They're both wheels and gears. I don't have an example right in front of me, I don't think, of that. But you can see, here's an example of the Wraith, for instance, of one of our motorcycles. And you can really get a good look at how what these wheels do. They're treaded. So they could you can put a rubber band in there and make a pulley, or they gear together. And that gives kids, and we only have 7 pieces in our whole inventory. Unlike Lego that has 177,000 pieces, and we believe in simplicity. It's another principle of nature, do more with less. So these 7 pieces are very high performance pieces. So we want kids to have early success. And so the nice thing about pulleys is the rubber bands are the belts, so you can have different distances with your pulleys and they always work. So kids can make machines right off the bat.
So there's so many different things you can do with these. This is sort of that perfect gift to give a school-age child on the spectrum, not on the spectrum. But if they are on the spectrum, I have to say to you, because we know that the autism brain works differently. It is so fascinating when you give these to children on the autism spectrum, the kinds of things that they will build. It will blow your mind, right? But don't forget that they're also working on fine motor skills, executive function, planning, cause and effect, and a whole series of things that I can't even imagine because I don't have an engineer brain, Mike. But absolutely amazing. And I understand that you've been taking these into more and more schools. Talk a little bit about that.
Right. We love to take them into schools because there are so many applications to Lux. What Lux does is it imitates nature not only at the motion level, so it'll move like things, but it'll also imitate the natural forms, so like parabolas, pretty complex forms. And kids won't necessarily know. They'll think they're making like some kind of cool, radar dish, right, for some kind of moon rover. But what they're actually doing is they're actually probing areas of geometric solids that they might not ever see unless they go to engineering school. And they're doing it through play. And these things are dynamic. Usually you can only model that like in a computer. So that was the idea. And again, it's about those connections per millisecond that are happening in the brain. And I think that sometimes people, I can't speak as a professional, but I think people's brains operate differently. And sometimes, as you know, people who might be on the supposed spectrum might have it like multi-operations going at the same time, and they prefer to have it that way. So they might listen to someone's conversation better if they have something in their hands that they're building, right? And so Lux really stimulates the brain because it's just, in terms of, give you an example. I mean, in terms of what the eye, as we know, the eye can process a lot more than the ears can. And so, especially through like words. So you'll see something like this, right? Go back up. This is just a sheet of pyramids. If you can see those pyramids.
Wow.
But together they form into an arrangement that's very much like a helix, like cell structure on a stalk of a plant or a conch shell. Okay? And it's very pleasing. Aesthetically pleasing, it's pleasing to hold in your hand, and I think it's just intellectually wonderful for kids. They just love the fact that this thing is morphing. So you get that, unlike nothing against Lego, I was a Lego kid myself, but these are far different than bricks or sticks. These are shaping like tissue in a forming organism, and kids, spectrum or no spectrum, they love this. But I think on the spectrum, other things are happening. Like always, there's other things happening.
Yeah, it's amazing. As I said, and I'm just building like a crazy person over here, and having a really good time. And that is what you do with these. You can't help yourself. You sit and build with them. But I think it is amazing when my kid was a Lego kid too, but he would get frustrated sometimes because there was something that he wanted to build and he couldn't do it. There was a system with Lego, and you had to build within that. This takes all of that and gives you infinite possibilities to be able to build, grow, have movement, have curves. It is so fabulous.
It's a different game. We only have 7 parts, but nature has this principle called the min-max principle. So we only have triangles and squares, but within those triangles and squares, you get an explosion of diversity. And every system has implicit limits. Lego is bricklaying. And the rectilinear system is wonderful for things like Minecraft. It's wonderful for logistics. If you have a big box store and you want to ship things from China, you put it on a box boat and then put the boxes on the train. So boxes in our culture are really important, but you won't see rockets being made out of bricks. And you won't see high-performance things being made out of stacking elements because they get their structure from the skin of things. So a helicopter or a car or a boat, usually the structure's in the skin. And that might seem like inside baseball, like that's engineering talk, but a kid will find out right away he's making hollow, lightweight, really high-performance, cool things. And really, let's face it, kids want what we have, the adults have. They want to have high performance in their hands, and that's what we try to give them.
It's so cool, and you could get just the starter kit, or you can get a kit that actually has instructions that I had one of my employees make this yesterday.
Oh, wow.
Super cool, yes, and he had a really good time making it. So you can get a tube that's got all the things, these primer tubes. This is what we gave the award to because we just thought it was so amazing. These the primer tubes and the steam Inventor tube, we just thought they were wonderful. But the truth is, we love everything that they do. But where can we get them, Mike?
Well, you can get them on Amazon, of course, but you could also get them preferably at luxblox.com. Luxblox.com is luxblox.com. It's based in Illinois, where we are. Everything is made in the United States, in Illinois, and we're packaged by a company called Bridgeway, our neighbors, and they employ people with intellectual disabilities, which we love. So you are supporting a local community, and you're also supporting people who have disabilities, but not the disabilities that it takes to package our things. And Bridgeway also employs lots of people on the spectrum for pretty high-functioning, difficult things, like knowing all the different various tags used by people on the highways. So it's a great organization, and we feel proud to be associated with them.
Spectacular. I've made my tube here, and I'm having such a good time with it because realizing that I can make it into a rectangle. And the list is endless of the things. I've had a really good time, Mike. And that's what you will have when you get these toys. Great, great gift for the holidays. I want to remind everybody, too, that if you want to find this or any of the other toys on the guide and you want something quick and easy, if you go to our website and click click on the toy guide, go to the section, and we put this for school age, but the truth is there is no age limit on this. But you'll
Nope.
find it in the school age. And if you hover over the name of it, then it's a hyperlink and it will take you directly to where you can purchase the Lux Blox. So we love them. We love you. We love your family, Mike. And
We love you guys too.
they're just amazing. We loved that earlier this year you guys got a little bit of a shout out from the Ashton Kutcher's folks that they thought that this was really amazing, and they sort of boosted a video about you guys. We thought that was very well deserved.
And just so you guys know, Federal Express, the shipping company, showed us a lot of love too. We won the first prize this year, the grand prize for the Small Business Challenge. And he told us when they flew us to Memphis that the reason why we won was because of our focus on trying to bring STEM to children on the spectrum.
Love it.
So they're really pushing us to pursue that. And it helped us out with giving us resources to ocular disorders and things like that. So FedEx is a big partner with us in bringing STEM to the autism community.
Now I've made a bow tie. I'm having a really good time. There we go. You can't stop yourself because you're like, what else can it do? And if I unplug this and put this, what else can it do? We're totally out of time, Mike, but I so appreciate you. Thank you for participating with
Shannon.
us. You have
It's
a
been
good
a joy.
holiday season.
You too.
Bye-bye.
God bless you. Bye-bye.
Hey, thanks for watching Autism Live. To subscribe, click here. And if you'd like to check out some more of our videos, click here.